I was born to be more correct in Palestine, because at the time it was under British control, Israel or whatever, and they call it Palestina. I served in infantry in the fighting units, was advanced frontline in a unit called Golani. In Israel, everybody knows Golani. And then in the reserves, I was assigned to a paratrooper regiment that is staff, all the staff, that means the important people in this regiment, were moved over from a unit called 101st, which also the Americans have them. And I moved the guys, all 101st. I was very happy. And me coming from Golani, for them was that I was like them, because paratroopers are really infantry, just that they jump from a plane if necessary. Jumping from a plane proved very dangerous, because like in certain cases, the enemy at the bottom, which is not allowed to do it according to the Geneva Convention, they shot the paratroopers in the air as they were coming down. So what happened is, I turned out in the 12th regiment, the best in the regiment, חניך מצטיין. And I got all my signs, insignia. Until then, it's 6 months basic training. You're nobody. After that, we went to we had a 4-day march to a place, was Golani Junction. There was a whole regiment, the whole division, which was 3 regiments, and another regiment as help, they call it helping with the big mortars and big things and that kind of. And there was a massive ceremony, and I got all my insignia on the side and on the head from the commander of the division, a general. From there, after that, I went to corporal course, and I came out there amongst the 5 best, again of 3 companies. And I didn't try, I never tried, I never tried, I don't know how I did it. From there, they sent me instead of back to 12th regiment, where I came from, and I worked and everybody knew me and all that. They sent me to 13th regiment. I didn't want 13th. So they give you, when you join, and when you come out like that, you get an appointment with the commander of the regiment, the lieutenant colonel. And he has to ask you, do you have a question or a request? That's standard. So he said to me, do you have a request? I said, yeah. And I was trying to be as gentle and as good like a baby. I said to him, if you ever have enough corporals, because we came out of corporal course, can you send me to 12th regiment? So he looked at me like I'm a piece of shit, like picked up from the floor. He says to me, add 1 to 12 and you get 13. Add 1 to 12. Well, nobody talks to me like that. I went to him like that. You see this finger? I went to his face. You see this movement? I'm not going to do it in your regiment. This movement. Mm-hmm. I took his door of the place and threw it. A whole building is a wooden building. Whole building shook. I went down to the quartermaster, put my kit back, which I brought from the corporal course then. Never opened it yet. And put it there, went through the fence and waited away for 17 days. You go for 18, you're a deserter. You go for 17, you're AWOL. So the rules are much lighter. You have court martial, but the punishments they can give are much lighter. Came back after 17 days. they sent a lance corporal to arrest me. But I knew the lance is 1 stripe. I knew that to arrest me has to be 2 stripes or 3 stripes. I said, if you can't arrest me, you can bring an order. Then I'll accept it. But you yourself, you below me. Go get an order. As he went to get the order, out through the fence. Another 17 days. Came back after 17 days. The regiment was sent to the front to hold the line of Suez Canal. But so there was nobody there. So nobody, I used it as a base to sleep and to do this and all that. I had a mullah, my best friend, was in a Navy base quite close. I used to go to him and used to sleep in his storeroom. He was the quartermaster. So I used to sleep in his place. I wasted another month that way until I came back from the line, holding line. First thing, arrest me. Arrest him immediately before I go away. So they brought me into the court case in front of the same lieutenant colonel that insulted me. I looked at it like, I'm now a Golani corporal that went through a year of basic training and 6 months and a 6 months. That was hell. That was real hell. So the guy, the sergeant major that leads you in was my old sergeant major from 12th Regiment, whom I really liked. But when they walk you in, you have to do quick step, you know? And your hands tight here. Like that. And he was embarrassed in front of his regiment the commander that he can't control me. So he touched me from the back like, try and hold my... That was a mistake. He touched me, it's an assault. He attacked me. He grabbed my arm like that, and I went and I hit him back in the solar plexus. He fell across the room. There was a window there. He would have fallen out, but he was pushed back in and he slid down on the floor. I could have killed him. I was crazy. You know, I don't let anybody touch me. They touch me, it's all out. Anyway, of course, they took away even my corporal. Not just, I got 35 days in jail. It was 6 jail, it was called 6 jail. My father, I never told at home of my problems. Never said, because my father was a major in the Air Force. He could have fixed all my problems. I said, no, that's my fight, not my father's fight. So I said nothing. So my father had his best friend happened to be the manager of the military, all Israeli military, Shimon Peres. So Shimon Peres one day says to him, do you feel like coming for a drive with me? I'm going to visit my son in Haifa, in the city of Haifa. My father says, yeah. So they're driving along the road and then they see a little sign, 13. So he says to Shimon, turn in here. My son is in this place, 13th Regiment. At the gate already told him your son is in jail. Poor father was so straight. You know, he's a 100% military person. He must have lost face. So anyway, they said, let's go visit him. So they came to visit me in jail. So they sent the warden to tell me I was in a tent. You have visitors. So I said, I have visitors? Nobody knows about all the stuff that I was doing. I go there and in the guards, there's a place like house. Shimon Peres and my father. Man, my face fell on the floor. I was shocked. So they said to me, what happened? So I tell them, the man insulted me. I was a corporal in Golani. You know, nobody insults me. they had to send us back to that induction camp where we had started our life, our military life. And they didn't have anybody to take our military files because we were being discharged. So they give it to an officer. An officer won't give it to anybody. He's not allowed to, he's not supposed to. But they didn't have an officer. So they said, Gerson, you carry them. I said, sure. Got on a bus together, a whole big group, and immediately I gave everybody his file to see his military file was. But what I saw is where the shock was. I was in shock. Not a word about my AWOL 3 times. Not a word about hitting a sergeant major in while being tried. Court martial. I hit a sergeant major. Not a word, nothing. Like a baby, I couldn't believe it. But that was Shimon Peres. He said he doesn't want to see a word about this whole thing, a time at all. All must be completely gone away. Because he knew I was right. I was insulted. And there's no reason that I should be insulted. And that's how I react. I'm insulted, I fight.